All right, welcome back to Maxi Pro, and we are going to start off week 3 with a little calling attention to our center, because I know you were probably out being cool on the weekend or whatever. All right, so call attention to your center. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? See yourself from all angles. See reality. Be at the center of what you are doing, but also what you are thinking. Noticing your thoughts, noticing reality. This is what it means to be present, awake, and aware. And in this week's module, Outer Purpose, we are going to help you discover and choose your purpose. That's what we'll be doing in this video. We will be discussing designing your pro self. We'll talk about the movie theater of life, how to rig your environment to win, and then how to think about your outer purpose in waking consciousness. For this video, we're going to help you pick your purpose. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited to walk this one through you. This can be extremely powerful and deep. This is one of the deeper videos that we have in this program, and I'm excited to really help you get to the bottom of your life purpose. It's exciting. It's cool. And if you've done something like this, or if you feel like you have a good grasp, I think it's, my take on it might be a little bit nuanced. So I encourage you to come into this with an open mind and really do some good self-examination. I think self-examination and looking at ourselves objectively is one of the best things we can do. Now, I will say that the following exercise, especially the e-purpose inquiry that I've created, is going to help you a little bit more if you have a partner. So you can find someone within the Maxi community to help you through this. You can do it together. You can help them. But if you don't have that, that's all right. You can do it on your own, and you'll probably be all right. So then, after we do that, we'll talk about how to craft your outer purpose, and then we'll discuss setting measurable goals. So the e-purpose inquiry, it starts with one question, and it's followed by roughly 7 or 8 questions. It can be more depending on how traumatized you are. Because the truth is, I've tried this exercise with a number of friends, and for some people, and not only friends, but clients, people within Maxi. And I've done this on live calls. We can do this on a live call if you are open to it. But just be wary that this can be very, it can be difficult. Okay, it can be quite the emotional roller coaster. And it's something where if you are closed up, if you've been traumatized, seriously, you might not want even to go back into your past. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you really might want to, because the worst thing that's going to happen is you get triggered and then you release some pent-up energy that maybe has been in you for years, and ultimately it ends up being good. But just take caution, because this is a difficult thing to do. I promise that doing it is not going to be the easiest thing. And the reason I tell you that is because as I walk you through this, there's going to be questions. And the way this works is I ask you, why do you want to be successful, is the first question. And what happens is you give a logical answer like, well, I want to be successful because, and this might be my answer, yours might be different, but for me, it's because I want to help as many people as possible. Okay, it's a logical answer straight out of my head. You don't really feel any emotion or really anything behind that statement. It's just, I thought about it, and there's my answer. Now, for you, you might say something else, but understand that there's a certain point where you're going to switch from giving logical answers to giving answers directly from your heart. And so what happens next, after you answer each question, is you ask why to your answer. So if you're doing this with a partner, your partner would ask you, why do you want to be successful? If your answer is because I want to help as many people as possible, they would ask you, why do you want to help people? Why do you want to help as many people as possible? And so the point is, you do this, you keep asking why to the answer. And at some point, you're going to stop giving answers from your logical brain, and you're going to feel this visceral, emotional response. It might not be visceral, it might be subtle to begin with, but there will be a point where it just erupts out of you, okay? So this is still a logical response, all right? Why do you want to help people? Because I want to make the world a better place. And by the way, this is true. That, like, what I'm about to tell you, for me, this is my E-purpose, okay? So, and E, by the way, stands for emotion. So my emotional purpose. Why do I want to make the world a better place? A partner might ask me, or you might ask me. Let's pretend that you are asking me the questions and I'm demonstrating to help you see what this exercise should look like. The reason that I want to make the world a better place is because it feels like that's my duty. Okay, see, that's interesting, right? Why that resonated a little bit more. Like when I said that, you kind of felt it. It got a little bit deeper. We're going deep into the depths of Arlin. And the next question is, why do you feel like it's your duty to improve the world? Why does Arlin think it's his duty to improve the world and make it a better place? And as soon as you ask this question, I start to choke up. Granted, I have done this exercise and demonstrated it for clients for years now, and for friends for years. And so while this is kind of drawn out, it's still something that hits me deeply emotionally. And you'll see immediately when I answer this question, I didn't write it down because I wanted it to come straight from the heart. But the reason that I feel that it's my duty to help improve the world is because my grandfather dedicated his entire life to building himself, to building his business. He owned a large real estate company, and he spent his whole life giving to others, building his business so that he could provide for the people that he cared about, for the people that he loved, for my mom, for my mom's two brothers, and even for my dad, who, is his son-in-law, and for me. And a little bit more background about me. My parents are lower middle class. My mom is a painter and art teacher, and my dad is a photographer. And growing up, I never had a lot of money, and without my grandfather and everything that he did and everything he sacrificed, I would not have been able to attend a 4-year private university that I did. I would not have been able to have the opportunities that I did without his support. And what chokes me up is that he died before I ever had the chance to show him that all the hard work that he put in through his entire life and all the time that he put in and really just time he spent with me even when he was alive and lessons he taught me, he never got the chance to see that the time he spent with me and the money that he put into me would be worth it. And so I feel like it's my duty. Now the next question comes, why is it important that I continue to show him that his investment is worth it? Why do I feel like it's my duty to show him that? Like, why do I feel, he's passed now, of course. Why do I feel inclined to just work so hard and make him proud even though he's not here? And that chokes me up even more because it makes me think of my own mom and dad and thinking, if either of them passed, or really if any of my friends passed before I had the chance to give them everything that they have sacrificed to give me a good life, I would just be devastated. Now, the first time I did this exercise was 2 or 3 years ago, and I literally was bawling my eyes out. I did it with one of my good friends, and I discovered this about myself, and it was really deep. And so why do I feel like I have to make it up to my parents to give back to them? Well, my answer to you for that is that I can't stand the thought of not giving back. I can't stand the thought of someone who's given to me not having the opportunity, of someone passing. Because if one of my parents passed or one of my friends passed and I didn't give my all to show them that their investment in me was worth it, it's just, you can't get that back. And why do I need to give them everything and my friends and my family everything? Well, I guess the ultimate thing, and this is where you might find yourself with an ultimate conclusion. And for me, that emotional purpose, that e-purpose inquiry leads me to the idea or the statement that I need to put myself in a position to which I can give to anyone who has ever given to me so I can pay back those debts, but also put myself in a position to where I can freely give to the point where there are no karmic debts. There are no emotional things left unturned. I've literally done everything I can. I've lived every single day in order to give the most of who I am to the world. And, that is why, thinking back about everything I've really ever done, from going to college and starting a YouTube channel, really a lot of the decisions I've made are to give back. Of course, this giving is not totally altruistic. It's selfish because I want to give back. I have joy from giving. I do things that I love. I know that the people around me want me to be happy, so I do things that make me happy, which also help other people. And so, with me, that's kind of the story. And, again, you'll want to kind of unpack from the beginning, why do you want to be successful? And then you'll find your own journey. So my purpose ends up becoming to put myself in a position to be able to give to anyone who has ever or could ever give to me. The purpose shows you up to this point why you do what you do, literally everything. And it may still motivate you moving forward. However, it can also hold you back. Like you can transcend this emotional purpose. Now, the reason I say that is because while it's good to know, I want to tell you, like at the same time, it's good to know and to discover this, that this thing that's motivating you to be so successful, at one point you will have achieved everything you've ever wanted to achieve. You will have done everything. And at that point, you've kind of done everything. Jim Carrey went through something like this, where he pretty much achieved everything he ever wanted to achieve and gave everything he could have given. And he was like, there's nothing left to do. So Jim Carrey went through this whole awakening, and now he's kind of just like a spiritual type guy. I'm sure he's still acting and doing some things, but it's interesting. I encourage you to try the purpose inquiry with a partner. And so now we're going to discuss how to craft your outer purpose, okay? How to really choose your purpose once and for all. And to do that, we're going to discuss your one-line purpose, which is in your master vision, in your mindset design. And this is super important. The one-line purpose should be pretty concise, but it should also be unachievable. So I recommend picking one that's like 5 words or less. And to show you an example of a one-line purpose, we're going to look at Google. And you can actually do this. So Google is a large company, right? You might think, why would I compare my master vision to Google's master vision? But you see, you can actually Google Google's letter to shareholders, and you can also understand that Google was started by 2 guys. The co-founders of Google started the company in 98, and they're just 2 guys. And so, you are an individual. They are both individual people, and they had a vision. And the thing about the vision is you can see in their letter to shareholders, which they publish every year, it says, "Today, our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful is as relevant as it was back in 1998. We are fortunate to have a timeless mission, and the way we approach it continues to evolve. Each phase change has been the result of careful, long-term planning that began by placing big bets in areas we believed would pay big dividends for society 5 to 10, even 20 years down the road." So Google, massively successful company, massively valuable company, massively a company that's really has done a lot of good for the world. I mean, to sum up their mission, their one-line purpose in one sentence, I would say it is to organize the world's information. Okay, it says it very clearly. Our mission to organize the world's information. 5 words or less, that's what it is. Now, you might notice that mission has stayed consistent, right? It's been the same since 1998. It's still relevant. And the reason it's still relevant is because it's a goal that's unachievable. Your one-line purpose, your master vision, your overarching purpose in life should be something that is almost like a mission that you can always work toward but never achieve. Now, that's not the same with your North Star goals, because your North Star goals should be simple, measurable, and 80-20. So for Google, for example, their North Star goals might be something related to a revenue, or maybe a certain amount of users, or maybe a certain amount of clicks. Whatever they quantify, that is, at the end of the year, measurable. Okay, so at the end of the year, it's 2020, at the end of 2021, Google should be able to look back and be like, did we accomplish this goal, yes or no? For their one-line purpose, for their North Star master vision purpose, their outer purpose to organize the world's information, You can't, that's arguable, right? Like that's a direction, okay? But a North Star goal is a checkpoint. So that's the difference between a one-line purpose and a goal. So your goal should be simple, measurable, and also specific, like toward that one-line purpose. Like it should be a goal such that if you accomplish that goal, it's like the highest form of achievement that indicates that you are making progress toward the one-line purpose. So for example, Google is building their search engine to attract 4 billion users by 1 year from today's date. In review, your one-line purpose should be 5 words or less and useful to society. That's another one. Notice here how Google says that it's their mission is focused on areas we believed would pay big dividends for society 5, 10, even 20 years down the road. So if your one-line purpose is about other people, that's going to make it a lot more fun to work on. You're going to feel better about working on it. Selling and creating is serving. Selling is serving. Business is not this thing, this innocuous thing that is just like for greed and money and power. Although it can get you power, power isn't necessarily bad either. The ability to influence and make the world a better place is what we should all be shooting for. So that's how to craft your outer purpose. One thing I would really recommend that you do in especially picking your outer purpose is, do your best now to think about your e-purpose, think about, what you are interested in and passionate about and what you see as the biggest problem in the world and how you could potentially solve that problem and create your purpose, but then attend a live call and bring a question, ask for feedback, ask within the community. Now, the key to setting measurable goals is to ask yourself, several questions, okay? And one thing I see, and then we're going to get a lot more into this within the business module of Maxi Pro, is when we set these goals for making money, and again, we are going to get a lot more into this, but I have found that people who enter Maxi and Maxi Pro, they have the hardest time setting financial goals because there's not really too much good advice about how to do that. And we're really going to dial it in the business portion. So, definitely look forward to that. But for now, I want you to think about these questions here, or these bullet points. Can you achieve what you have achieved in the past through automation? So a good starting point is if you already own an online business, which you probably do if you started this course, how could you make the same amount of money each month and do it without even being there? Can you automate it? Can you delegate? Can you create a team? Could you create a business or run the business you have now or set up systems that literally remove you from it so you are simply the overseer and the owner of the business? A business owner is not an operator. Can you hire a personal assistant to handle almost the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, sorry. Can you hire a COO? And, obviously you're paying them, but if you're making $10,000 a month and you're paying someone to do the day-to-day management or a team, or even creating systems around a team, can you do that? That would be a great goal. And from there, take a true fan's mindset. So while you're, a lot of people, I think, like to focus on 10x goals, right? I really think that's not the best way to do it because I've tried that in the past and it's just irrational. It doesn't make sense. I think what's a much better idea with your business is if you're looking to scale, focus on your key true fan customers. Give them the attention that they need. Ask them questions about how they want your business improved and actually make those improvements. And then the last thing I would recommend is scaling based off of a mentor. So I have a mentorship program, but you're going to want to find a mentor that is literally doing the same thing that you're doing. So if you're running a drop shipping business, then find a mentor who is 10 steps ahead of you with drop shipping and listen to them. You might want to buy an online course on that. You might want to find a mentor in sports who's 10 steps ahead of you. Whatever it is that you're looking to achieve, my recommendation is to find a mentor who is 10 steps ahead of you or even 100 steps ahead of you. But I would definitely look at someone who's 10 steps ahead of you because they'll remember the exact struggles that they were going through at the time. And with that, I conclude this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, what's up, brother? Hopefully you are enjoying these free resources that I'm putting out for you. Now, if you got to the end of this video and you had the patience and the discipline to finish something to completion, then you might be a good fit for my mastermind. I am building a small community of only 50 investors, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are looking to level up in their mindset, their fitness, their social circle, their social media brand, and business. You might be a good fit. If you'd be interested in joining that, or applying to it at least, it's invite only, then direct message me the word mastermind on Instagram at Arlin, that's ARLIN. Direct message me the word mastermind to see if you are a good fit. I'll send you a link. You'll be sent to this page. You will book a time, and then you will answer the survey questions. Okay, and make sure you answer these questions in sufficient detail because we will cancel if you don't put in effort and you aren't serious about this. Again, we're only accepting hitters, so if that's you, send me a message.